Ndugu yangu Uhuru Kenyatta hakukuja, ningependa sana akae pale nieleze yale maneno yote, akisikia apate fursa ya kujibu, lakini ameniwacha peke yangu. Ameniweka shere, lakini ndio ameweka boya hapa, lakini pamoja na haya mimi namtakia kila laheri na hata na rafiki yake Bwana Ruto tunatakia heri. Nasema hiyo mchuano itakuwa ya kirafiki, na yule ambaye atashinda ashinde, na siyekubali kushindwa sio mshindani. Shukran, asanteni sana. There are two groups of people I did not address. One issue of housing, I did not address it in the context that we are discussing it as NASA. That we are going to invest heavily on low-cost housing that is affordable to the population.
Yep.
So,
please use the microphone.
You're free to use it.
Yes.
That we are going to invest as NASA in low-cost housing, which is the problem right now. That's why people are having issues in the slums. That our youth can get decent housing when they get married as families. That happened in Hong Kong, in Singapore, in Malaysia. Okay? The other one are the single mothers. These young ladies who either have divorced, or their husbands have died, or they just got children. These mothers are having serious problems bringing up families. We say that we are going to pay special attention to this group so that they can be able to access capital, so that they can be able to do business or get employment, so that they can be able to look after their children properly. Finally, I just want to tell Kenyans that we are on the brink of history as a country. It has been a long journey to reach where we have reached today as a people. 8th of August is going to remain in the annals of our history as a very historic day for our people. Every Kenyan who is able, who has registered as a voter, must turn out to cast their vote to participate in history making. I'm sure that at the end of the day, Kenyans are going to emerge victorious. So we urge you, whether you're a Jubilee supporter, or you're a NASA supporter, turn up and vote for us, because Nane Nane will remain forever a very important day in your life. Thank you very much. Asanteni sana wa Kenya kwa kunisikiliza. Juta ya kwamba ndugu yangu Uhuru Kenyatta hakukuja, ningependa sana akae pale nieleze yale maneno yote, akisikia apate fursa ya kujibu, lakini ameniwacha peke yangu. Ameniweka shere, lakini ndio ameweka boya hapa, lakini pamoja na haya mimi namtakia kila laheri na hata na rafiki yake Bwana Ruto tunatakia heri. Nasema hiyo mchuano itakuwa ya kirafiki, na yule ambaye atashinda ashinde, na siyekubali kushindwa sio mshindani. Shukran, asanteni sana.
All right. Thank you. There are a lot of Kenyans who are worried about the election we will have in the next 2 weeks. As a matter of fact, there are Kenyans who are stocking up. There are Kenyans who are making plans to travel to different places. There are even some foreign missions that are issuing some travel advisories around this election. Do you share those concerns, Mr. Odinga?
I would love to inform Kenyans that Kenyans have a constitutional right to participate in these elections. I think there's some scarecrow. Some people are basically trying to scare Kenyans because they want to deprive those Kenyans of their constitutional right to vote. So people are being told, oh, there's going to be violence around. Some notes have even been written threatening some people so that the people can run away, particularly from urban areas, to go to safety. I have urged our supporters not to fall to this, that they should stay put. I don't see any problems happening. We have said that there will be no violence in Kenya so long as elections are free and fair. And the government has assured us that they are not going to interfere. The IEBC has assured us that the elections are going to be free and fair. So we should not be scared. People should not run away from where they're staying, because by running away, you are actually depriving us of your vote, either Jubilee or NASA. So we want these elections to be won fairly. And we want Jubilee to also desist from trying to manipulate the electoral results, as I mentioned earlier on, using the security forces. We want to win fairly. And if we win fairly, fine. You've also said that in the unlikely event of us losing, we will congratulate Jubilee. They've been asking me all the times, are you going to accept results? We will accept free, fair electoral results, outcome. If they're free and fair, we will accept them.
All right.
Don't regret any words that I uttered on that day. I meant every word that I said at that time. I was addressing the issue of poverty of the people in that area. Those people are pastoralists. Ordinarily, pastoralists don't have to be poor. You see, in Botswana, for a long time was running an economy based on pastoralism. And the pastoralists were very rich and very healthy. But here, because we have not managed it properly, KMC is almost dead, so therefore the pastoralists don't even have proper places where they can sell their animals and get proper prices for it. So these people have been forced, therefore, to sell their land in order to make ends meet. Somebody's wife is sick. You want to take the wife for treatment? No money. You want to pay school fees for his children? It's no money. You want to put bread on the table? It's no money. Because of this, he sells the only piece of land that he has in order to be able to make ends meet. And therefore, it is inheriting his children. So I told him that we are going to make sure that you can live comfortably on your animals, so that you don't have to sell land, so that you become destitute, or your children become destitute. This is what I was talking about. And I said that this issue needs to be addressed through the issue of land, address it properly through TJRC report.
And Mr. Odinga, I'll come to the TJRC in a moment, but you do understand that land is an emotive issue in this country, and you can understand if people who live in Kajiado, who are non-Maasai, if you like, are jittery about a statement like that, because many of them seem to have understood it to mean that you would like them, when you take over, to leave that part of the country.
Joe, I meant what I said. I never said that people should leave. I said don't sell. In other words, there are people who have already bought. I'm not talking about people who have already bought, who have got titles and so on. I'm saying that we're going to reach a stage where it should not be forced to sell. But there are people who have got a lot of land in Kajiado. Those people with excess land should sell. Nobody is saying they should not sell at all. I'm only talking about people with limited amounts of land who are forced to dispose of the land because of economic reasons. This is what I never said, but Mr. Kenyatta was playing politics. Oh, Raila wanted people to be evicted and to go back to where you came from. And I never say that. In Kajiado, there are members of so many other communities who live there, not only Kajiado, even Narok, in several other places. I've never said go back to where you came from. I was addressing the Maasais, that because of your poverty, you have been forced to sell your land. We will deal with the poverty so that you don't have to sell your land, period.
So if there's someone in Kajiado right now who's feeling worried about what you said that day, what do you tell them tonight? That
they should sit comfortable. They don't have to worry at all. Raila Odinga wants to see Kenya as an integrated society.
Opponents, and specifically the Deputy President William Ruto, has said that implementing the TJRC is a recipe for chaos in the country. How specifically do you believe the TJRC will solve the problem of land, for example, in the country, and historical injustices in general?
Joe, this was part of the Agenda 4 of the Serena process. So we, therefore, as a Grand Coalition government, set up the commission, the TJRC commission, which was like an international commission, because we had commissioners from Australia, from Zambia, from Ireland, part of that commission. And they traveled around the country asking Kenyans of their views about historical injustices. A lot of money was spent on that commission. So at the end of it, they compiled that report, which details out the historical injustices from the time. This is very similar to what they did in South Africa, when Mandela appointed a commission led by Archbishop Desmond Tutu. And that helped them to deal with the past violations of human rights under the apartheid regime and reconcile the South African society. That whole process has not happened in this country. So for a deputy president to go on record saying that TJRC is going to open all wounds, what is important is just to issue title deeds, basically exhibits his ignorance of the reality in this country.
So walk us through this whole process. So assuming you get elected in the next 2 weeks, you get into State House, what do you do with the TJRC? How does that look like, so that we can begin to understand how these problems will be solved through that report?
When I'm elected, and you mark the word when, not if, I'm elected.
Well, I'm sure Kenyans will have something to say about that on August 8th, but
yes.
we can proceed.
Okay. No, we have said clearly as NASA that we shall implement the provisions of the TJRC report. By the way, the TJRC also is drawn from the constitution of the country. Part of what is in the TJRC recommendation is also in the constitution, which, for example, has got a chapter on land, and that chapter created what we call community land. You've got community land, you've got private land, then you've got public land. Now, that community land is supposed to be administered by the representatives of the community, the county government, and the National Land Commission. The first thing that the Jubilee government did, President Uhuru Kenyatta, when they went, was to water down the subsidiary legislation which were under draft, which had been prepared by the Grand Coalition government, Ministry of Lands, to go and amend those provisions and remove the power from the community and the county government and bring in the cabinet secretary. So basically, just bringing back the old system which was responsible for the mess that we have in the land sector today. We will ensure that this is reversed so that the community has a say, final say on the community land generally.
All right, so let's